Y'all, Lori hasn't looked as giddy at these last couple of hearings that we've been seeing her at. It's as if someone burst her bubble. That smug look is gone from her face. Y'all, today we're going to be dishing about the latest hearing. So she's facing 3 misdemeanor charges: obstructing an investigation, criminal solicitation, and contempt. She, of course, has said not guilty to these charges. So y'all, when I was rewatching the hearing and they get to the point, the judge is like, "Are y'all ready to argue this today?" And Mark Means is like, "We're ready to argue." And the judge goes, "Well, the court's not ready to argue." I was like, "No, we've come so far." Luckily, she was like, "Hold your pies, girls. Look, no one get all uptight. We're gonna argue it, okay? Give me 5 damn minutes." So they come back out, and honestly, I was like, this is just kind of run-of-the-mill stuff, but I should have known to just wait for Mark Means to start talking. So Mark Means gets out there, and he's like, "Look, according to my calculations, this is like a 2 years maximum sentence, like, maybe $2,500 fine." So then he wants to try and make his case. This is what they do, defense attorneys, as to why, Lori should get this bond reduction. And he's like, "You know what? She's been a model inmate." And I was like, oh, no. How far we have fallen, when the only thing someone can say for you at this point at the bond reduction is she's been a model inmate. And then he's like, "Look, these aren't violent charges." And I was like, oh no, we would never think anything violent or mischievous out of this one. And then Mark Means is like, "Look, there's no previous criminal record, not anywhere that I can think of. I don't think she's done anything kind of shady somewhere else. Anyone heard of anything lately?" And I was just like, oh, give it a year. That violent criminal record is quickly approaching. And then of course he's like, "Look, her access to funds is limited." And I was like, yeah, hello, nobody wants anything to do with her anymore. So he's like, "Look, I want to argue for $100 grand on these charges." Now the state gets up there and he's like, "Yes, we recognize that these are misdemeanors." And he just reels it back into reality. He's like, "But let's not forget what these misdemeanors were moving towards, which were horrifying felonies." Now the state says, "Look, Lori was hiding the location of her deceased children. At the same time, she was obstructing the investigation by trying to coerce old Miss Gibb to lie, and then also failing to produce the children under court order." So I look at it like this, y'all. I look at it like, here's a courtroom, we're in here arguing a jaywalking ticket, and the defense attorney for that's like, "Look, this is a jaywalking ticket. This doesn't mean anything. That's like such a petty crime." And then the state's like, "Okay, yeah, that might be the case, and we agree with that. But after the person jaywalked and went to the other side of the street, they went in a bank and robbed it and killed 10 people. So while they might not be convicted of that yet, they're still a crappy person." I thought it was interesting that it was mentioned that Lori's only family contact is Chad Daybell. And I was like, oh, God, they deserve each other. Now again, the state just brings it back home, and he just hammers home these crimes were done to conceal the fate, the whereabouts, the location, all that stuff of her dead children. And that at the end of the day is what this is all about. Now the state's like, "Look, you know what? I get, we can lower this. It is what it is. We're asking for $250 grand, same restrictions that are already on her." So then the judge is like, "I've taken all this into consideration and I'm going to give you my answer." And so the judge is like, "Look, she's real." She's like, "You know what? These are misdemeanors. Yeah, she's already served 5 months in prison waiting on these other charges she has. So there has to be basically a realistic version of what we can do here as far as bond goes." She also was making it very clear, like, yeah, Missy over here is wanted on $1 million bond in the county next door, and she ain't going nowhere on that one so far. So the judge sets this at $150,000, 50 grand for each charge. And then she adds another condition, which is Lori can't have any contact with any co-conspirators, aka you-know-who, Chad Daybell. And I was like, damn, this judge is sneaky. She is sneaky, and I love it. And y'all know Lori was probably like, "Oh, well, never mind then. I'll just stay in here and rot if I can't have my man. Or at least I'll just stay put until July 22nd. So y'all, they have set a trial date for these charges. It is going to be in 2021, January 25th to the 29th. We'll see what happens. I can only imagine Mark Means after this hearing. I'm sure he was high-fiving it. He went home to whoever he has there, and he's like, "Yeah, that was a victory.
Okay, that was a victory. You know what? We're just chipping away at this case bit by bit, and you saw it. I went in that courtroom hot, and I wasn't taking no for a damn answer.
Meanwhile, the rest of us are over here like, that judge knows her ass ain't going nowhere. I also found it very interesting that the judge called her Mrs. Daybell. Y'all check the other videos out if you want to see more of my commentary on this case. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.